Good morning, we are back again. Can you guess what day it is? If you said Saturday, you're wrong. It's college football Saturday to you, buddy. Lock in, it's week 9. My name is Paige, and these are my plays. I'm going to start this off by addressing last Saturday. It wasn't my best, but honestly, I guess it really just wasn't the players' best week. Let's take a peek. Let's never look at that again. It was a rough Saturday for me. All the teams that I wanted to win lost. My lineup looked like that. Every player underperformed like crazy. But a wise man once told me, you cannot get hot unless you start cold. You don't put something already hot into a microwave to heat it up, all right? You put something cold in there. And we, right now, are in the microwave. Poetry. The board again, of course, is looking nice and
juicy.
Last week I asked the question, who is good in college football? And after watching those games, I am almost more confused. I will say Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, they look fantastic. The distribution of talent and success is way more spread out this year. It's actually electric. Like at first I thought NIL would do the opposite and NIL would just push more teams to Alabama, Georgia, all the schools with a ton of money. But I actually think it's helped schools who at one point would only have been mid-tier kind of raise above that because they can now pay their players. You know that the NCAA actually owes me money? I'm part of the settlement. Fun fact about me. Enough of this legal jargon. We're going to start with the Battle of Kansas versus Kansas State. Fun fact about Kansas, can you guess what their biggest export is? I'll give you the top 3. Aircraft and spaceship parts, meat and cereal. Who would have thought?
Let's get back to talking about football.
Kansas State at the beginning of the year was terrible. They are actually heating up. It feels like their offense finally has some sort of groove going. Their quarterback finally got it together. I took his more on passing yards almost every week for the first 3 weeks, and he never showed up. And now he is. However, I'm still staying off that play because I feel like that's just got to be
cursed for me.
Instead, I'm taking Garrett Oakley, Kansas State's tight end, more on receiving yards. He's finally started to find the ball in the last couple games. Things are looking up for him. This week, I am hopeful, and that's really all we can ask for. Hope is the most dangerous emotion in the world. If you were a Mariners fan this past weekend, you would know that. You would know that. UCLA at Indiana.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot to mention Indiana's a top team, of course, but that's just like weird to say. Like, I don't feel comfortable saying,
oh yeah, the Indiana's really good.
Just doesn't feel right, but they are.
However,
I am taking Indiana's quarterback less than on his passing yards because UCLA is bad. I know UCLA has like started to do better.
They're still bad.
His projection is around 265, and I just feel like there is going to be no need for that in this game. If they're as good as everyone says, then he's not going to be needing to throw the ball. I think this is a lock.
That's why I'm taking it.
The next game is Syracuse, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, what an interesting school. What a bunch of really smart people who are actually really good at sports. In honor of Georgia Tech, I'm getting a little bit scientific with this pick. Their running back, Jamal Haynes, in his last 5 or 6 games, whenever he has a really good game, the next game he plays really terrible. Last game, he had a fantastic game, went over his yards by 1 million. So this game, I am taking less than on his rushing yards. Another thing I do want to note about this game, Georgia Tech's quarterback rushes for like 150 yards. Like that's
weird.
Like I wanted to hammer more on that, but I was like, no, that's like
too weird.
I can't get
too weird.
This next game is Ole Miss, Oklahoma. A very tough game for me to look at because like I've said a million times, I love Ole Miss. But like I've also said a million times, I love John Mateer. Is his hand okay? Do we know that? Do we have another Chipotle update? I really believe in John Mateer's
swagger.
He is the coolest man in college football. Also, if you haven't seen his Venmo transactions, go look that up on Twitter. That man is one of us.
We accept that one of us. Google gobble one of us.
So I'm taking his more on passing yards. I think he's gonna have a game. You know, this is my perfect scenario. Ole Miss is winning, so John Mateer is throwing the ball a lot. Ole Miss wins the game. John Mateer has a bunch of yards. Can we all get down for that? We are finally into an afternoon game. This is Illinois taking on the University of Washington. What did I say last video? If this University of Washington kid doesn't hit, I will never take another player from the University of Washington ever again.
It did not hit.
So we're looking at an Illinois player. I think you guys might know him, Luke Altmaier. I'm actually an Illinois hater. I don't think they're very good. And fun fact about this game, Illinois is ranked 23, UW is unranked, but UW is favored. Which means UW is probably going to win, but that also means that Illinois will be behind and they will need to be throwing the ball. So I'm taking Luke Altmaier's more on passing yards. And if this doesn't hit, it will again be UW's fault and will fuel more hatred towards them. And you know what? I'm fine with that.
Pour the gasoline on.
Whatever. Anyway, moving on. This is a very big game. This is Mizzou at Vanderbilt. Let's go Vandy, I guess. I don't know. I'm actually like impartial to both these teams. Diego Pavia, like I said, Albuquerque. I took him last week passing yards. This week, I'm taking rushing yards. That man is the Cam Scattaboo of quarterbacks. Feel like he's gonna put his head down and
Run through some people.
so Diego Pavia, do not let me down. I think you did last week. Last week was just not a good week. Baylor is taking on the Cincinnati Bearcats. I normally take Baylor's quarterback more on passing yards. I'm gonna do something a little bit different here. I'm gonna take their tight end because you gotta take a tight end when it comes to college football. You just have to. We're taking Michael Trigg more on receiving yards because Baylor throws the ball every play, and a tight end in college is bound to get the ball. Again, another a lock. Okay, and now for the night game of the week.
Death Valley, baby.
LSU is taking on Texas A&M, and I will say one thing. A&M fans are weirdos. We all know that. I am not an A&M fan. They're my least favorite Aggie. My first favorite is UC Davis. My second favorite is New Mexico State, and then a bunch of Aggies later, Texas A&M. So I'm rooting for LSU here. Texas A&M is favored. It's hard to win in Death Valley, and LSU is gonna show up at their home field. So I'm looking at another tight end. This is Trey'Dez Green, LSU's tight end, and I am taking his more on receiving yards. Like I said, tight ends are always open. This kid was kind of non-existent at the beginning of the season, didn't really have any yards, like quite literally zero, but in the last couple games, he's been racking it up. He's been racking it up and raking it in, and that is what we are going to do with this lineup. This is 8 picks 100x. You guys have to lock this one in because we're due. There's no way to say this. It's week 9 and we're due. Guys, copy this play. Follow me on Dabble. We are 100 away from passing EJ. So get busy living or get out of here. I never know how to end these videos. I'm going to do it like this next time. What's good? Goodbye.